Hey, happy hour, happy Jackrabbit Day. In fact, Jackrabbit Days today and tomorrow here on Happy Hour because we compiled so much material on SDSU Media Day, a chance to talk to the head coach Dan Jackson, several of the players, both coordinators, and a fun treat, over a half hour with John Stiegelmeier, the head coach. I'm John Gaskins. Zach Borg is with me to get the ball rolling. He had a chance to talk to a bunch of players and coaches as well, and apparently Dan Jackson is becoming John Stiegelmeier.
Yeah, he has uttered the holy phrase, holy nutmeg. It still lives.
Okay.
So more to come on that.
Okay,
Perhaps the most important development of Media Day.
Yeah. Zach's putting together some stories, did all kinds of interviews. So this is the portion where we trade notes.
Yeah.
We did have a chance to see practice today. I was spending a lot of my portion of that talking to John Stiegelmeier, but I did see an exciting end of practice kind of goal line situation drill, offense,
tempo
defense,
drill. Yep.
Very spirited. So when it comes to just the practice side of things, and you've been to a couple of others since it started 2 weeks ago, what would be your overview observation of the Jacks 2026?
Well, I think you can tell this is a very experienced team. I know we've traded these notes with Matt Zimmer and Marcus Traxler, who've also been here with us today, and we've talked about the experience level this team has. A lot of players back, really not a whole lot of question marks, although we're covering those as well. This is a group that feels like they kind of know what they're doing at this point, so there aren't a whole lot of holes, but you can tell it is spirited. We've heard about the physicality levels at times, so it just does feel like, I know Marcus has kind of said it, there is almost a little bit of you're starting to get that vibe of the 2022 and 2023 eras, but one of the funny things I've done is I'm trying to talk about those positions we have question marks, like at the running back or a little bit of defensive lines, and some of the guys who've been here the longest, like Brendan Begeman, Jay Cipher, they were maybe scouts on those championship teams. They're like, we feel that culture that we had back in the championship, but we want to put our own imprint on this thing. This is our own legacy time to put this on this now, and you get that feeling too.
There are good reasons why SDSU is rated number 3 nationally in the Stats preseason poll and picked to win the Mo Valley strongly, 28 out of 34 first-place votes, because a lot of really good players are back, really accomplished players, and it feels like there's more depth. But that's where we get into our overview of our conversations we had today with both players and coaches. What kind of information did you kind of extract in leading us to believe, or yourself to believe, that these preseason prognostications, there's a reason why people think they'll compete for the national championship?
Well, along with that returning experience that you have, it's that it feels like it's a deeper team. I think that's maybe the biggest difference. Certainly last year the injuries hit this team pretty hard. I mean, again, they were 7-0 and they beat the team that ended up winning the national title on that team's home field. So, I mean, again, you never know, but they've added depth through the transfer portal.
Yeah.
You've got all these guys coming back. It feels like the depth is there for this team to be able to constantly go out, even if they do take some hits. We'll see as we get deeper into the year, but I think that is the biggest piece. On that defensive line alone, it feels like they can start doing the hockey line changes again, where they go 5 deep.
Yep.
Even with you need Chase Mason to stay healthy, but it feels like the quarterback position, even with Jack Henry getting another year, is much better. So up and down the board, maybe with exception of running back, there's still a little question there. Just feels up and down the board like they've got more depth to withstand things this year. Yeah,
and again, when you look back to last year, first of all, it starts with Chase Mason, the quarterback, and they were 8-1 when he played, and the one loss was to Montana, and everybody last year lost to Montana except Montana State, the national champion. So, but then there's guys like Lofton O'Groske, who was just having a breakout year, and before midseason it was over. And
Reis Kirschenmen, who was a game wrecker at Montana State, tore his pec in that game, and he was done for the year.
Yep, and so he walked through that. Chase, I've walked through with the injury before, but in our chat today, he'll talk about just overall how much more advanced the offense is and feels. Lofton O'Groske was a delightful interview, and boy, he's tuned up to be able to play again. And Chase Van Tol as well. We didn't talk to him, but there's another key player to that defense.
Watch out for the Wayne America transfers, Jess Kirchhill and Carter Sitzman. They look like beasts out of the NSIC.
Had a chance to talk to Sitzman today. So those are some of the players you're going to be hearing from, Chase and Lofton. We had Dontay Jackson in the secondary, safety. And Reis Kirschenmen talking about the pain of last year, and Carter Sitzman comparing playing and competing at Wayne State to now at South Dakota State, and just how he became kind of a breakout sensation that we're all looking forward to seeing. So Dan Jackson and players today, John Stiegelmeier and plus coordinators who were both coordinators under Stig in another life, another time, Eric Eidsness and Brian Bergstrom. All the next 2 days, plus all of Zach's material, Midwest Sports, plus some fun stuff. You always mix in some quirks. Matt Zimmer and Marcus Trexler's writing and the Jackrabbit Lounge. It's all there here from Jackrabbit Day. Just so happens, I don't know when we're placing this in our show, but our last chat of the day is with Dan Jackson, the head coach, on Jackrabbit Day here on Happy Hour. And do you feel like you're, at this point, 2 weeks before the first game, are you feeling like, let's just play the first game? Or are you glad there's 2 weeks?
As a coach, you're glad there's 2 weeks because you love practice and the preparation of it. Maybe for interviews, I'm ready for there to be a game because I'm ready to do like a post-game interview. I'm ready for somebody to critique a fourth down call or something, like talk some football, really get into it. A lot of the off-season questions turn into, not yours, but a lot of the same thing over and over.
I know.
We get into different
I try
topics.
to avoid it.
You do. You do a great job.
Yeah.
So anyways, no, we're ready for football, but at the same time, I think the next 2 weeks are going to be really critical to build the middle to bottom of our roster and continue to elevate the depth.
What are you watching for most as a head coach? I know it's a long list every single day. What are the overall things you're always looking for, especially closer to game one, when you come out here and evaluate?
Practice is a lot different in this role, and that was one thing I needed to get used to. Is it's first just how we're operating as a practice. How are we transitioning the efficiency of the time that we're out here? If we're out here for 90 minutes or 120 minutes, I'm really critical as to the amount of work we're able to get in, the structure of the practice, the drills that we're doing, the situational portions of practice, and I don't want to waste our coaches or players' time. So every minute out here, making sure that it's used effectively, and then it's the spirit and the competition of practice. To me, football's a fun, physical, tough game, and we've been getting after it, and we've had the most competitive practices that I've ever been around. I mean, our guys go and they get after it. So I'm paying attention to those things, and then I'm saying a lot of prayers to make sure no one gets hurt. So that's how my day goes.
For sure. And so look, I've always called this Kool-Aid season. Everybody's undefeated, but in those things you're looking for, what are you finding?
I think we have a really competitive football team. I mean, the guys love the game. They love each other. It's easy to see how close they are and how connected of a group they are when you watch them practice or lift weights or really anything. If you just were able to be at a team event, you would see it. And we've tweaked and adjusted the schedule quite a bit as well. I think you're seeing a team that's energized and not getting worn out. A lot of coaches and programs, I feel like, just do fall camp the same way it's always been done. We did a lot and we accomplished a lot this summer. And so we've changed the schedule a great deal. So I see a motivated, fresh, excited team that's getting better every day.
We've been asking you this throughout from spring into whenever we last chat, July, and now you've seen some August practices. So at this checkpoint, I know things are night and day different as far as how advanced things are because a lot of guys returned, and you don't have a lot of guys that just walked into the building a couple months ago.
Definitely.
But in what specific ways are you saying, like, wow, this is different and this is much more ready to rock and roll?
The standards are more clear. I mean, the expectations and standard of winning has always been here, and that didn't vanish a year ago. But as you're learning a team and as you're learning one another and you're learning a staff, and a lot of people are in a role for the first time. I was a first-time head coach. Our quarterback was a first-time starter. A lot of our guys were first-time starters. A lot of our coaches were first-time at South Dakota State. There was standards and expectations and things there, but they're just much more clear now. And I feel much more comfortable holding that standard of accountability every single day, whether it's with a staff member or a player. And so there's just a clear vision as to what we're doing. And clarity, I learned this. Clear is kind. Unclear is unkind. And so I feel like the clarity in what we're doing is allowing us to have fun with it, too.
I bet. You mentioned up at the podium today in front of media and boosters at the luncheon, head coaching type of stuff. You want to be the most disciplined, most physical, most connected team in the country. You've already brought up the connected part. When you talk about disciplined, compared to your barometer, any football season, any football team, how close were you to being as disciplined as you wanted to be last year, and what are you trying to do to close that
we were
gap?
an F. We were an F last year in terms of discipline on the field.
And in areas, what do you mean discipline?
Jumping off sides, getting the inability to run the ball came from being tackled for a loss, or not understanding the play, or going left when I should have went right, or not having a full understanding of a job. So we worked up to the wrong linebacker, and it was a TFL. Defensively, just the speed in which we played, we weren't able to anticipate plays defensively. I think when we have a high bar here, and so when I'm talking about discipline, it's penalties, it's taking care of the football, it's sacks, it's doing all the things in our program, what we say, that take no talent. And there was too many times that we got in our own way last year, and it wasn't due to the talent, it was due to the execution, and that is not on the players, that's on the coaches, that's on the players, it's on the collective. But when I look at it this year, I would say that you can come to a practice and you won't see a guy jump off sides. You won't see. I mean, we've had officials here 8 times so far during fall camp, which is very unique for a school of our level. But that's because being the most disciplined team is a part of our identity. We're not going to just talk about something and not do it or emphasize it. We have officials here every day to help hold us accountable. So we've made big strides, and just being honest with you, last year wasn't good enough.
Right, and turnovers. I mean, this is a microcosm of. I went and looked through a bunch of stats, offense, defense, and overall things, and I tried to put it in the context of this team lost its quarterback and had a third-string true freshman quarterback. Was Jack
second-year player, but
second-year play. I mean, there's about 4 or 5 games there that went awry and sideways, and some of it you try to take that into account in the overall wash of stats. But I did notice, third down, fourth down, turnovers lost, those are on the low ends of things. I guess I'll ask you, what metrics or stats did you look at and said, okay, we got to really improve that if we're going to win more games?
I think last year you could look at a lot of them and point out one specific thing, but the manner in which you play and the identity in which you play really is a trickle down into all of that. I look at red zone offense was something we struggled with early in the season and improved on. Well, then I have to look back and say we didn't practice that well enough. I didn't put them in enough situations to do that, and then even look deeper into the numbers and say, well, we weren't very explosive in terms of 50, 60, 70-yard touchdowns. Well, that helps, obviously, your offense. If you're 12, 13, 14, 15 play drives, you know what you are by the time you get to the red zone? You're tired. Okay, and so we looked at every area, red zone, third down, fourth down, offense, defense, tackling, sacks, whatever the stat is. We kind of went through all of them, honestly, John, and we tried to look at them deeper than just a statistic because it was such a unique year with so many different players in and out, the
Injuries.
Coaches learning each other, us not always being on the same page to where it needed to be. And I say that off our standard. I think if you looked at most places, you'd say, oh, you guys did pretty good last year. But
understandable. But here's where it can lead to a question I was going to ask you in July, and it came to me now on this topic. How do you prevent? I mean, you can't necessarily. Well, you can prevent injuries, but you know what I mean. Sometimes kids are going to get injured. And it's going to happen. And you had a really good starting quarterback and a great receiver get hurt, and a good, awesome defensive lineman and Reis Kirschenmen, and an awesome linebacker and Chase Van Tol. Things are going to be different and tougher when you lose 4 players like that. Maybe it happens again this year. Maybe it doesn't. But what kinds of things have you done or assessed in, for lack of a better word, things not falling apart for 4 games, to prevent that slide that you guys had?
Well, we've got depth, and so if you give us a year to build a roster, we're going to build a really good roster. And so the first thing, the way to be able to deal with injuries is to be able to have a second and third guy that's just as good as your starter. And we've got some high-level players on this team that are tough to replace, but I feel confident that now that we actually had a year to build a recruiting class, to bring in time to evaluate transfers, bring in the right guys, I mean, the depth here is something that I'm really, really proud of. And so it's building the competition for a couple things. Depth helps with your competition. So then it pushes everybody to be a little bit better. And when your starter isn't always – when he has to show up every day to keep his job, he gets better. And then the backup gets better. And so I like our depth. I like what we've added from that standpoint of it. We've also coached much better in the offseason. We started all the way back to ground zero with football 101s in January. So our players know what to do at a higher level. And then our strength coach only had 3 months with our team before last season. And so part of the injuries, him having an entire year now, every guy on our team is bigger, faster, stronger than they were a year ago, which hopefully that leads to less injuries as well.
Hey, you gave a big shout-out to Nate Morris up in front of everybody today. So
yeah, he's the best
conditioned team you've had.
Best conditioned team I've been around. They feel it. And it's not me. I could look at them and say, oh, these guys are fit. These guys are strong. We have the metrics and the numbers and the analytics to look at that. But you also just have to ask them. I mean, we've had guys that are sixth-year players or fifth-year players say that he has changed their life. And for a guy that old to say that and their ability to perform and confidence in play is really amazing. So I can't thank him and his staff enough.
What are you looking for most, last question, these next 2 weeks before the Stetson game?
I would say refinement and just continue to clean and be efficient on offense. We're going to in defense in terms of we're going to start moving the ball more and playing practice more like a game. So the first 2 weeks, you're installing certain segments. Today's a third down day, for instance, or a red zone day. Yeah. Now we kind of will be putting them all together into almost every practice, so they have to think and operate in situations. And then I'm really interested to see some of our first and second year players make a big jump the next 2 weeks.
All right. That's the overview. If you want to learn more about specific players, Eric Eisness, the offensive coordinator, joined us, and we talked to a bunch of them today. That was the macro. We're going to hear plenty more of the micro, but it's good to hear from you, and looking forward to talking to you, after some games, after some stuff that's on film.
It's almost here, buddy. I can't wait. It's going to be a good year. Great year.
Dan Jackson, Jackrabbit coach, here on Happy Hour. Here we are, Jackrabbit Media Day, and the quarterback Chase Mason joining us, getting set for a senior season. And by now we've done the preseason and spring interviews about big expectations and for the team and for yourself. And we were just before we got started here, you're mentioning we're in the middle of the grind right now. What goes through your mind or your body at this time of the year when you've been at it in practice, still got 2 weeks from a game?
Yeah, I mean, it's just constantly every day you got to find something to improve on, watching film, things like that. So take it day by day. In fall camp, we're right in the middle of it, and it definitely feels like we're in the middle of it. So but it's been a blast. So we're getting into more situational football, which has been super fun as well.
We had a chance to watch your practice this morning, and there were some goal line situations toward the end of it. I was actually indoors, but watching from the windows up there and could hear everything. You guys were acting like it was the middle of the season. It was a goal line situation against USD or UND. Is that what it's like a lot, or is that just a certain situation today? Because it was very spirited.
Yeah, I mean, we did a overtime situation is what we split up.
Yeah.
We did the blue team, yellow team, so different coaches got to call plays. So like Mike Bankston, the O-line coach, was the OC for my team, and then the wide receivers coach was OC for the other team. And it just gives like a great game atmosphere, kind of like you were saying. But I've been pushing you got to attack every single day like it's game day and everything like that. And that kind of made it feel a little bit more like game day, and it was super fun to kind of see guys go out there and thrive in the situation. And the competition is what breeds excellence around here. So it's super fun just having competition like that in a real game scenario. So,
from your own eyes, when you notice the demeanor, the performance, just everything about these camps compared to a year ago, from the players, from the coaches, learning curves, everything, explain how different things look at this point before the season.
Yeah, I'll just start with from the whole staff. I mean, everybody has a better understanding of what camp is supposed to be like from a year ago, and kind of throwing things together still at that point. And then you had new transfers since we had different transfer portals that year before. So you're still kind of trying to get culture built throughout the team during fall camp, where now we have a firm culture in the team, and we know who we are as our identity. And then the players have a better understanding of what we're doing at practice, so you aren't thinking about that as much. You can focus on football the whole time. So, and then we have the best schedule we've ever had during fall camp too. We're getting out earlier. We're not wasting any time at the facility at all. We're still getting in the same amount of football. We have a better schedule. Guys are getting home earlier. We're sleeping more, and I think it really shows throughout the week. The more fall camp goes on, the guys are staying more healthy in general. So it's been a great fall camp so far.
Dan said a month ago that you seem more like a coach out there. I mean, that you aren't yourself haven't just grasped the offense. You're teaching it now, and so it sounds like that's a big difference from you last year, because you had a new offensive coordinator, and it was Eric Eidsen's offense you had to learn. But how much have you taken upon yourself to do that? What are some examples of you doing that, of you being kind of a coach on the field during these camps?
I think it's just pulling younger guys aside, not only QBs, wide receivers, guys like that, and also the other guys. It's just like once you get out there, there's so much communication that can happen to make certain plays better, and signaling and changing protections, things like that. So the more the whole unit can be on the same page, the better we are. And being able to just communicate with other guys once we're done with a roll of plays. Coaching while practice is happening, not after, and in the film room, fixing it out here and doing things like that, which has been a big improvement for us. And out in the field, coaching and learning from each other during reps and taking mental reps while the other groups are going. So it's been fun to see the team take a step in that side of things.
How would you describe your leadership style in conducive to your personality? Like, when do you get on guys? How vocal and angry do you get, or how much more of a teacher are you? Like, what to you is at this point in your career, the right approach to leadership?
Yeah, I mean, I love to have fun on the football field, but there's a time to have fun on the football field, and there's a time to lock in and play situational football and play the game. So I'm going to be lenient on younger guys and things like that, but I know when there's a time to get after someone for making a mistake or things like that. I know there's a time for that, and I don't always just go yell at someone. Every guy's different, you know. So there's a time to go and bring someone aside and kind of talk through a situation, because a lot of times you don't know what they're thinking. So it's just like, what do you see there? And once you understand what a guy is seeing, maybe you can coach them a little bit better too as well. So it's just kind of taking a wider lens to things, asking guys after practice what they thought about it, watching film with guys. But there is a time to kind of speak up, and there's been times where I had to do that, but I feel like my voice is present when that happens, and even though I don't yell a whole lot, when I do, guys understand that.
It means something when it happens. Can you think back to a time? Can you point out a time that you've done that this camp?
I would say during a team meeting, we were just there was a brawl out here, and we had to do some up downs. So then we get into the situation after, and some guys made some mental mistakes, and we get into team meeting that night, and coach is like, can anybody tell me what happened here? We jumped off sides and everything. And I was like, I can tell you what, like, we just did 10 up downs and we couldn't focus for 10 seconds during a play. And I was like, kind of said it in a louder voice, just because I was pretty frustrated with, we can't do 10 up downs and not and not focus. But yeah, it was things like that where it's just like, you can't make the same mistake twice. And that's my biggest philosophy with younger guys. Don't make the same mistake twice. You can learn. Everybody's going to mess up. I messed up a lot. But learn from your mistakes and don't make the same mistake twice. And you can learn from every single other guy out there taking a rep as well. So, that's what I would say is my biggest philosophy.
How much less would you say you're messing up this time this year than last year, and feeling game ready?
Oh, I mean, the whole team is on a whole different level than last time this year. Just like watching back film from last year too, I felt like we were in a pretty good spot last year, but now I look back to what we're doing now, and it's a completely different team and group of guys as well. So you can definitely tell it night and day. So
in these sort of preseason interviews that you've been doing now for years, I've been doing a lot for years. Unless you won the national championship, the proverbial cliche question is always about that last game, that last loss, and the taste in your mouth. And so we normally get the answer like, yeah, it did, and we're okay. But for you, do you think much back to that game, or is it more of a totality of last season, or do you not even look behind at this point?
I don't really even think about last year a whole lot. Obviously nobody wants to lose, but at the end of the day, only one team gets to hold the trophy, and every week 50% of the teams lose. So that's college football, and that's what makes it so fun. So I think we can just learn a lot from last year of who we were as a group and how we can be better leaders on the team, and then the coaching staff as well. I think we learned a lot about each other on both sides of it. So that's probably the biggest thing you can look back on and learn as a team and as a whole.
What are you, and this is an open-ended question, either athletically or psychologically, whatever, what are you more capable of doing than you were last year? Like, what's expanded in your arsenal?
Yeah, I feel like I have a full understanding of the offense and making checks and routes to different pressures, situational football, and then just like teaching that to the offensive guys. Once everybody else knows what the O-line is doing, once a wide receiver knows what the O-line is doing, once a O-line knows the pass concept or RPO, that just brings a whole different level of football and knowledge to the whole offensive side of the ball, and everybody kind of understand the schemes and why we're doing things, and it just makes things a lot easier to understand as a whole. And guys have really bought into that, and Coach E's really been pushing that on position coaches, and then that bleeds into the players as well. So it's been super fun to see.
In what ways or how different do you feel like the offense overall is going to be from last year?
I'm super excited with what I've seen this camp, and then like summer too. That helps a lot with guys being up here all summer, and even though coaches aren't technically allowed to be around and things like that, I think we get a lot out of a summer. And it could be a time where teams can really take a jump, or it could be a time where teams just kind of stay meh. And we use this summer to really improve, and we took it super serious. So it's been super cool to see. And then like young guys taking a step this camp. Like, we're going to need some young guys to step up this year, and it's been cool to see some of the young linemen, receivers, tight ends, guys like that needed to take a jump, and they did. So,
you got like several of your teammates within distance of us. I don't think they can hear us talking here. They might hear this later, but I'll do the diligence of asking you, like, who's really any position group, the line, running backs, receivers, tight ends. You've been seeing is just you continue to go, wow, that's making some big wow plays and moments so far in this camp.
Yeah, there's guys from every position group. There's a couple of freshman receivers that have been standing out. The running backs have taken a huge jump this camp. Some freshman tight ends. Ben Brooks has been playing super well. He was a lot of guys on scout team last year. Landon Delaney played on scout team. Like, there's a lot of guys there's guys that played on scout team last year that made a huge jump and are going to make an impact on this team. So I can't pick one guy just because there's so many at each position. There's a bunch of freshmen or younger O-linemen that have been playing with the ones that haven't had an opportunity, and now they did, and they made the most of it, and it shows. So
I mean, Delaney's a fast kid. We saw big plays out of Jack Smith last year, and a couple near the end of the season from Graham Goring. And so you got guys, running backs as well, that can make big plays or big yards, the explosive plays that seemed to be missing early last season. And O'Groske's back. And when we take it back to you, who's so capable yourself of just taking off and running and making some wild plays, how difficult or easy of a balance is it for you to know you are capable of doing some pretty superhuman things, but you don't have to? Like, is that kind of the kind of stuff that you sometimes have to think about? Yeah,
there's a time and place to tuck the ball and run or scramble and things like that, but you don't like try and force that. It kind of comes with the game, and but like all the talent around me, like it's super easy to kind of go out there and play free as well, and there's a trust built between the wide receivers, O-line, and running back. Everybody out on the field has to trust each other, because if one of us messes up your job, it's going to ruin the rest of the other 10 guys' opportunity on that play. Like, and that's what we've been talking about at camp. Everybody has to be locked in on every single play, and the emphasis has kind of been like raising the floor. I mean, we know we have a great group of seniors that have played a lot of football and everything, but getting these younger guys up to the standard of what we expect every single day. And injuries are going to happen during the season, so that's really, like you saw, like I got hurt last year, and it was tough because we didn't feel like we really prepared the other quarterbacks as well. And that's a whole team like thing. Like, that's not one guy's fault at all. It's not any of those guys' fault, but it's been super cool to see the whole floor raise and not fall off at all. So yeah.
I think you're off the hook. Did you feel like a zoo animal right here with all these guys?
A little bit.
I do. I know I do. But I appreciate it, and good luck. It's going to be fun watching you play this year.
Thank you.
Chase Mason here on Jackrabbit Day on Happy Hour. Well, here on Jackrabbit Media Day, we're here with probably one of the more talked about and most anticipated new players for the Jackrabbits. Carter Sitzman, defensive end, Wayne State University transfer, Lincoln Christian High School, Lincoln, Nebraska native. And there's reasons why people are just cannot wait to see what happens when you actually hit the field in a game. What about you? I mean, thinking about going, starting your career at Wayne State, and now here you are. What's the transition been like, and how? What's been going through your mind in August as we get closer to the first game?
I mean, yeah, Wayne took a shot on me. I was a really undersized defensive end out of high school. I was like 220 pounds. Then I just threw some weight on, and now I'm 275 pounds out of nowhere. And then SDSU gave me a shot to come up here and play football, and I mean, it's been great, and the fit at SDSU is pretty seamless. I mean, I remember on my official visit, I sat down with Coach Jackson, and I didn't even want to take any other visits. Like, I signed the papers in the room. Like, the brotherhood, the connection around this team has just been – it feels like I've been here for 5 years. Like, it's actually crazy. Like, all the guys, like, I've been so close to them. It's felt like I've been here since my freshman year, and no discredit to Wayne at all, but it's just like this place, we spend a lot of time together, and the dudes are really good.
Did SDSU talk to you at all in high school?
Nope.
No. Who did? Like, who were the others besides Wayne that was talking to you and offering you?
It was just Wayne and USF, Sioux Falls.
Okay. And those are two really good football programs.
Yes.
But you're thinking it was size? Did
Yeah.
you in your mind, did you think you were a better player than that as far as level of?
I mean, out of high school, I actually played quarterback at Lincoln Christian, and for some reason in my head I was like, I want to play quarterback in college, and I knew it was never going to happen. But then Wayne was like, by the way, you're too undersized to play DN, but you can come to Wayne and we'll pay for your school and you can work out for a year. I'm like, bingo. Like, I love working out. I love like all that stuff, like behind the scenes of football. And so that kind of grabbed my attention, and I got there and I actually fell in love with football again. And that's kind of where things kicked off. What did you learn, and how did you grow as a football player in Wayne? I just learned a lot about just how to balance life and football. And, I mean, coming from a small, like, Wayne's a pretty small town. I mean, I've been through there. Yeah, so, I mean, there's not a lot going on there. And, like, you kind of have to fall in love with football to love that. And Wayne's a really good program. I mean, they're going to have a great year this year. We had a great year last year. And once you dive in and really buy into the football program, it really teaches you a lot of life lessons, too. I'm sure at some point last year, you're making a bunch of plays, and you're going to probably be hearing from some schools at a higher level. Was that expected from yourself? Like, were you surprising yourself, or just kind of walk me through all of a sudden hitting it that big, that fast, to the point you're here? Yeah, I mean, it definitely was a little bit of a shocker, because I never thought my freshman year at Wayne that I would ever have the chance to come play at some place like SDSU at all. But definitely after making some plays and flying around at Wayne, I saw the interest, and a lot of people around me, coaches, and like the 7-on-7 world that I used to practice with were like, hey, I mean, I think you got a chance to play at the next level. And just kind of took the chance, kind of bet on myself, and just wound up here, and there's no other place I'd rather be. Who else besides SDSU is talking to you after the season? I mean, pretty much every FCS school. FCS school. Pretty much every FCS school. And then, what was that like? You had two teams talking to you in high school, and now pretty much every FCS school. That's a lot to throw at you. What was that like? I mean, especially, like you said, like out of high school, I wasn't really recruited, and then all of a sudden I enter the portal, and my phone's ringing every 5 seconds. I'm like, what's going on? Like, can I even balance this myself? Like, I had to make a spreadsheet on my phone of visits and people to talk to and what to say and what not to say, and it was definitely it was a lot to balance. But I just knew that once I toured the place that I knew I was going to be, that God would put it in my life to where I was supposed to be. And once I was sitting down in the office and I toured, I talked to like 3 players here. It was Rip, Reis, and Logan. I talked to them, and I knew immediately that I was supposed to be here. Okay. And then you get here, and you acclimate yourself in January. You hit the weight room, and then the spring practice, and then the summer, and now we're 2 weeks before the season starts. So now you have kind of a full grasp. But I actually want to go back to when you first hit the field with these guys. Everyone wants to know, from someone who's been through it, compare D2 and at a really good D2 school and a great D2 league like the NSIC, the level of talent, performance, whatever, because you went from one to the next within a couple of months. Yeah. I mean, I definitely say the speed of even just practice is a little faster, and the tackles, I mean, the offensive line, speaking like who I'm going against, is just a little bigger. I mean, no discredit to Wayne. Like, I went against some beasts. Like, definitely guys. I went against guys that play on Sundays right now, and guys that I practiced with at Wayne were just absolute beasts. But they just didn't really have the the money and the facilities to really build that pack and size on. Like, then I get here, I'm going against Q, who's a 6'5", 320-pound NFL projected star. So, I mean, it's actually like really good to test my abilities too. So it's actually been really helpful in that way as well.
To what, this might seem like a silly question at this point, but to what degree do you feel like you belong? Like, I'm ready for this.
Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely coming here, McCormick and Rip really dove into me with the playbook. Because, like, you can be the most talented person in the room, but if you don't know the playbook, you won't step a foot in the field. Like, if you're messing up, you don't do your 111th, like, you're going to cause other teams to score touchdowns. And then once I kind of took the grasp of the playbook, I just kind of knew that I was going to fit in pretty well here and just play off of other players, and it's been going pretty well. Was
there a moment in a practice, spring or in August, where you really were like, I'm really ready?
I think it
felt pretty good.
I think it was more in this fall camp that I've kind of noticed I can play, because we're firing at all ends. Because in spring, I mean, you're just playing against your own team. Like, you don't really have a projected game. You don't really have schemes to build on. You don't really put in the whole playbook, just like the big base things. But I definitely say probably about like practice 7 or 8 here, just like playing off of like Logan and off of Jace. Like, it just like we have a chemistry that like I didn't think was going to be possible with coming here only 8 months ago. But we already have like a chemistry we've been playing for years together.
I want to go right back to Q and what it's like, physically, but also verbally, to go against a guy like that, knowing that this is going to be incredible preparation for everything you're going to see in games on Saturdays.
Yeah, I'm super fortunate to have someone like Q to go against. I mean, we get after it on the field in practice. Like, we'll say some words to each other, but we also after a play, like if I beat him or he beats me, we talk to each other on the technique on how one might beat the other. And we're actually like, it's really good to have an offensive lineman that you can work with, because the offensive lineman will see things differently than a defensive lineman will see, and then vice versa as well. So we've kind of worked together pretty well together. It's been nice.
It's going to be fun to watch you play. Good luck. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Carter Sitzman, he's coming. South Dakota State.
Thank you.
Cheers. Jackrabbit Media Day with Lofton O'Groske, a player who so many people are so excited to see back out on a football field this year after just an incredible game at Montana State, game 2 last year as a freshman, and then it just kind of then the injury. So I can't imagine how excited you are to be out there. I mean, what's going through your mind here as you talk about it 2 weeks ahead of the first game of the season?
Yeah, I'm eager, man. I mean, that whole time when I was injured, I was like desperate to get on the field. Like you don't feel the need to play football. I shouldn't say that, but you don't feel like the eagerness to play football all the time. Like, you know how I say, like, fall camp is dreadful and all that, but just noticing that, the experience made me so much more grateful for the sport and how I play it and the opportunity to play it and the blessing and this season I'm so amped, so excited.
Yeah.
Like, amazing team, amazing coach believes in me, quarterback believes in me, and I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, I mean, I want to go back to the pre-injury. Last year and this year, you're in a deep receiving room. You've got Alex Bullock from Nebraska and some young talent in that room. But you just came out guns a-blazing, especially in the Hornets' nest against the team that eventually was the national champion. And that was a breakout game of games. Mm-hmm. For you, is that something you saw coming, or you had the potential to happen?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I look at every game that I'm going to have a breakout game, because I want that confidence. I kind of want that, shouldn't say ego, but like that quiet confidence, you know. And I mean, Bankston, he actually told me before the game, he's like, hey, you're gonna go crazy this game. Like, you're gonna break out. I'm like, really? Like, okay. Randomly. I've never heard that from him, and he just had a feeling. He hasn't played scripted for me, one-on-one balls, stuff like that. And he's like, you're gonna go crazy. I'm like, all right, coach, I believe you. And obviously he was right. And I mean, I had 20 plus family there, which was amazing. So it was an amazing day for me. I loved it.
Yeah. Explain just the celebration with the teammates and then with your family afterward in such a huge game like that, just making so many big plays late.
Oh yeah,
I mean for you.
Oh yeah, it was huge. I mean, OT, I don't know if you guys saw me. I said it in my post-game interview too, but my hands were on my head the whole entire OT. I was just so stressed but so excited at the same time, just eager to see what will happen. Obviously that last play took forever to measure out, and I mean, just sprinting on the field after was just amazing, and just looking up in the stands, seeing my parents and all my family members, just such a great opportunity to see them. Just super blessed for that. Then afterwards, I mean, you know, locker room obviously went crazy. Amazing game, and against what were they ranked, like number 3, number 2 in the nation?
2 or 3,
and it was amazing win, and then plane ride home and bus ride. I mean, the whole next Saturday and Sunday, because Monday we look on the next game, but Saturday and Sunday were just, I just felt at peace. I just felt accomplished at that point. So I just felt like, man, this is where I'm meant to be.
And was there any part of you was like, geez, what do I do for a follow-up act? Or were you just excited to have a follow-up act?
Yeah. I get it both ways. I'm like, okay, this is like kind of like my peak game.
They're probably going to be on you a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know?
And I've had obviously interview guys and X going crazy, Instagram going crazy. I'm like, okay, what am I going to do with all this stuff, like you said? But just got to play my game, go out there and just play football.
Okay, now the bad flashback. Walk me through the injury, how it happened, and every thought and emotion that you had.
Yeah, the first one obviously was tough. Like right over here, so the post route kind of got. And they called the PI on it, so got some yarders out of it.
What game was it?
Mercyhurst.
Okay.
I ran like a I scored the first one. And I came back out and then had a post route. Kind of got dragged down by 2 defenders. And I kind of landed like straight armed, and I ended up fracturing some of my back, which is kind of wild. Like the doctors I talked to said they haven't really heard of it. It was kind of super random and rare, and obviously it's a fracture, so it's gonna take a little bit. I couldn't the first week I couldn't move my arm, lift my arm at all. Like it was just dead and dangling, and it was definitely hard to deal with. But then I came back in 2.5-3 weeks and played a little bit more stage, kind of get my legs moving, and then NDSU obviously ended up playing that game, scored a touchdown right here, and that I felt really good going into that game. I felt confident. It didn't change my confidence, didn't change my mindset. But yeah, and then obviously right there I got injured again, and I ended up fracturing some of my leg, which is terrible on that diving play. But yeah, obviously I had family members there for me. All my trainers and my coaches, they were all there for me. Really grateful for that. My teammates were there for me.
Yeah.
I couldn't ask for a better team support system, and I'm a faithful man, so I just kind of just lean on God, kind of lean on Him in prayer life, and I think that helped me the most. So
yeah. Now with Chase back, and most of the receivers back, most of the line back. 4 out of 5. Give people who haven't been able to come up and see practice what you're seeing in this offense, and just again kind of having a few games with Chase robbed of you guys last year, of what you're truly capable of now. What are you seeing and sensing?
Yeah, I think, not trying to have much ego, but I think it's a whole different team than last year. Obviously, we were new, brand new coaches, brand new team, a lot of transfers coming in. We weren't organized.
Yeah.
And I think this year we're so much more organized, so much more of like a full team, not just moving pieces. We're a full puzzle, and I think we've blended really well. We have the most connected team I've seen, and our offense is looking. I think we're always going to look great. Chase has been amazing. Running backs have been doing good. Like I could start any of those running backs right now. I feel really good about it, which is good. Receiver core, very deep. We have a lot of depth. I'd feel good with any receiver starting really, which is good. Bankston really pushes us to be better, and like he said, he wants to recruit the young guys to beat us out, and that's kind of how his mindset is. I respect that because you want the best team you can, the best position group you can, and Chase has been on. Chase, Josh, Jack, they've all been really good, so I'm confident. I'm super confident.
Hey, last one. Well, do you remember catching the first real piss missile from Chase Mason, like a rocket?
I do.
Is it different from any quarterback that's throwing you the ball? We assume that, but I'm asking you.
100%. Yeah. It was my freshman year actually. I've had some other ones from Mark. He was very accurate. It just wasn't as hard. It wasn't a miss like you said. And I went in with Chase, and he just had a hitch route, and he just sling that thing like 100 miles per hour. I'm like, dude, it's a hitch route. You don't got to do all that. And then I had a curl route, and he chucks that thing in my face. I'm like, dude, you got to relax. I've never had this. And then obviously it takes time to get used to. And but at the end of the day, it's you want it as a receiver just because it's harder for the defense to get, and you just gotta learn it. But
the idea, just give us a glimpse of just how gifted he is at putting the ball where it needs to be for a guy like you.
Man. Yeah, it's crazy.
He makes your job.
It's crazy. Obviously, my job's to get open, and even if I'm barely open, he just rifles it in there. There can be a little tiny pocket in the field, and he just rifles it. And I haven't seen a more accurate QE that from my playing experience I've ever seen. So he's been a complete blessing to play with. Amazing man, great leader. And like you said, he fits it anywhere. The ball, I'll be on the opposite side of the field. He'd be rolling to the left. You chuck it, perfect ball. It's unreal to me. So yeah,
it's gonna be fun to watch you guys play catch this year.
Sir. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah,
man.
welcome back.
Appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Lofton O'Groske here on Happy Hour.
Thank you.
So here's another guy who we all feel robbed of from the 2025 season. We just chatted with Lofton O'Groske, and the defensive version of that is Reis Kirschenmen, because a couple, even less than him, a couple games in, and you were done. So I can't imagine how rip-roaring, ready to go you feel for this season.
Yep, I'm ready to go. I mean,
a little closer there.
Yep, I'm ready to go. That was definitely one of the hardest years of my life, and just had to attack it day by day. And I mean, Charlie and all the guys around here had great support and helped me get back to where I was, and hopped in for spring ball and been full go for fall camp, and I'm ready to go. I feel great.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the most pleasant way to ease into a conversation, especially since we just met, but take us back to the moment that it happened, what you felt, just physically, but then obviously in the moments and the hours and whatever days after, when you realized this is really this is it. You know?
I don't know. I just went in for a tackle, wrapped him up, pulled, felt like a pop in my arm, and couldn't really lift my arm up. Went over to the sideline and stuff, and I don't know. They went and X-rayed it, nothing really, and I don't know. Doc said I couldn't really lift my arm up, so I couldn't go out and play really. So I was done for the game, and then went and got an MRI, saw that it was torn. Can't really play football without a pec. So I don't know, got surgery and then just been chipping away ever since.
How would you explain the time when you're spending a ton of time in the training room and on game day? I mean, did you travel with the team, or were you here?
I did travel with the team.
You did travel with the team, but
you're
having to watch. For you, what was that like?
It was. I mean, I just felt like I left the guys out to dry out there. I wanted to be out there with them and battle and compete and help them win games, and so that was tough. And I don't know, it was really nice that Dan let me travel, and I got to go to all the games and help support the guys from the sidelines, but I really tried to help them out.
Some people say that watching from the sidelines helps, especially the quarterbacks, but I don't know if that's the case with everybody. For you, did it help, or did it just suck?
Yeah, it sucked. I don't know. Just
helping you understand the game more or whatever, see the game.
Yeah, it just kind of sucked and made me want to go out there, especially when I started feeling better after surgery towards the end of the season. Felt like I could just wrap it up and go back out there. It kind of pissed me off a little bit, but I was good.
Yeah. At what point did it feel all just 100% complete, ready to go, back to normal?
Honestly, I could probably say 6 months after surgery, but I know it wasn't. It was kind of a slow process. Probably took about till 9 months, to be honest, 8 or 9. So I don't know, even during spring ball, it was pretty limited, but it's good to be back out there now full.
Yeah. Now what are you observing about this defense, particularly the defensive line, because so many of you guys are back? I'm sure it's more cohesive. I'm sure you understand the language of Bergie's defense better compared now to a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's great, and I love all the guys that play with all the chain gang. I mean, Jay Syfor, Logan Green, Carter Sitzman, Dawson Ripperda. I mean, we're all best buds outside the field, and we hang out outside the field too, outside the field, which makes our on-field play even better. I mean, the chemistry is all there, so it's great. And then even some of the young bucks that are coming up, we hang out with them outside the field too, and it's just great to see the development. And there's just so much. It's just way easier to play out there, and you play for the guy next to you, and you know him and you love him off the field.
Give us an idea of what it's like to go up against your also experienced offensive line all the time.
It's great. I love the offensive line. I mean, just like all the D-line, the offensive line we're all buds off the field too. Yeah. So it's great that we can go on the field and battle it out and hash it out and talk crap and get mean at each other for a while, and then go back into the locker room and know that we're best buds and gonna hang out this weekend or whatever.
Okay. Chase Van Tol, did you play with him in high school?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because again, I was telling you beforehand, I called some of your state championship games at T. It's all a blur. 3, 4, 5 years ago, you played in 3 of them. I remember both of you guys running around and making plays. How well did you know him? Because I know he's not your same age.
Oh yeah, he's actually my same age.
He is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought he wasn't.
Really well. He's actually we're next door neighbors. Grew up playing all sports and
so you're really good friends. Your whole life.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Brothers. So what again? I'm going to use the term. What was it like with both of you getting hurt? Him a little bit later, but still halfway. Yeah. He missed a bunch of games. Were you able to bond over that? Was it nice, especially somebody who you've known your whole life and have been a football teammate with? How did you lean on each other?
Yeah, I mean, it was hard. I mean, especially when I got hurt, because then I was kind of just living out there through him and, watching him ball out and play and stuff. And then he got hurt. And, it was good to just, battle off each other and just help each other up when we needed it and just get through everything together.
You two are such key components coming back. How much? Give us an idea of not just how much better, but why the defense is going to be better with the two of you back in those units.
It's both of us, but honestly, it's all of us. The way all of us are out there playing together, and like I said, I said the D-line's close, but it's really the whole defense.
Yeah.
Linebackers, too, are all just so close, and all the guys have been just putting so much work in and all this extra time, extra film. Whether it's walkthroughs or extra, we'll be out here Mondays through Wednesdays, getting extra field work. And so it's, everybody's chomping at the bit, and they felt what everybody felt last year. That's not up to our standard, and that wasn't even close to what we're going to do. So
you guys feel like you'd be ready to play Saturday, or are you glad you have 2 weeks?
We're ready to go.
It seems like it.
We're ready to go.
Appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Reis Kirschenmen here on Happy Hour. It's Jackrabbit Media Day here in Brookings, and we have a chance to talk with one of the returning defensive starters, one of the few in the secondary that is back, the safety, Dontay Johnson, Fort Collins, Colorado. And before I get to anything else, one of the more interesting names of a high school I've ever seen, Colorado Early College.
Yeah.
That's where was it an unusual type of high school? Is it what it says it is?
Yeah, Larry. So it's really a charter. So there's no sports that go on there. So I had to school of choice. So the school I actually played for was Fort Collins High School. But the school that I did all my academics and my school for was Fort Collins, Colorado Early College. Was basically just a school where you were able to try to get as many college credits as you can. So I was able to go there, kind of do what I needed to do, and I graduated with my associate's degree out of Colorado Early College.
And Fort Collins your whole life, or is that?
I was originally born in Arizona. Phoenix, Arizona. Lived there first 10 years of my life. That's where my dad's from. My mom's from Colorado. So once I was about 9 or 10 years old, made the choice to move to Colorado, Fort Collins, Colorado. And my mom just has family out there, so it was nice to be around, grandma, grandpa, uncle, all that.
And you can go outside in the summer.
Yeah, you can go out outside in the summer, man.
And enjoy it.
Yeah. Really beautiful area.
Were you much of a Colorado State fan being right there?
Growing up, everybody wanted to be an Oregon fan, so I was an Oregon fan originally. But as I was in Fort Collins,
I have sons your age. They wanted Ducks from South Dakota. No reason other than it looks cool, right?
Yup, exactly.
Yeah.
But as I lived in the Fort Collins area and I started to go to Colorado State games, I started to become more of a Colorado State fan and just thought it would be really cool to if I got the opportunity to play there, it would be awesome.
Okay. And did they recruit you?
They did recruit me. It's a long story. So going into my senior year, I was originally committed to Colorado State. And then when December came around, there was a coaching change, and when coaching changes happen, they have to reevaluate the recruiting class and stuff like that. So after the whole new coaching staff came in, I decommitted, put myself back out there through Twitter, just saying I'm looking for a home, and I was blessed with the opportunity that Coach Stiglmeyer reached out to me and brought me up here for an official visit, and the rest is history.
Well, tell us about how the rest became history. What made this the place that you decided to come?
Oh man, when I came here on my official visit, one, it was really cold, so that was my, that was the first thought I had about this.
Didn't deter you, or did
no,
you go?
No, did not deter
me.
Just being around the coaches, getting to meet all the players, and then just the community. I went to one of the men's basketball games, and they were playing NDSU. And talk about an environment. Going there and just seeing the crowd, the fans, it was it was amazing. I was like, wow, this is something I would love to be a part of. You could really feel the love from the community to all the sports. And then I go out to eat at Cubby's, and everybody there just excited to see any type of sports that goes on there. But just being here, just for the short amount of time on my official visit, I really fell in love with the place.
Well, look, you almost feel like an OG here. You actually played when Stiglmeyer was still the coach. I'm not going to say that feels like ancient history. You got to play 9 games as a true freshman. Then you got hurt. Then the medical red shirt in 2023. And then you got to play a bunch in 24 and 25. And here we are. All of a sudden, you are a senior. But, I'm curious, going from playing on a defense led by Jimmy Rogers,
Yeah.
The different DCs you've been able to have, and landing at Brian Bergstrom right now, because those two alone, that's two ends of the spectrum right there.
Right.
Or, well, it seems like it. You can tell me.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I have to say is both of them are really smart coaches.
Yeah.
They both came in, they both created, the defensive system that we had. So, when the turnover came around and Coach Bergstrom took over, there wasn't a whole lot of change. But both coaches are, really smart, got a really high IQ. And at the end of the day, they both want to do what's best for the defense, and they want to make sure that defense allows less than 10 points every game.
Okay.
Yep.
There you go. Last year, how would you describe the defensive performance last year?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just an adjective, because I'll let you describe it.
I would say gritty. I would say gritty.
Okay.
I could say physical. I could say perseverance. There were some ups and downs for sure, but overall, I would say the defense just never lost hope or never wanted to give up.
Yeah.
There were a lot of times where it seemed like the defense was down and stuff like that, but when you were on the sideline or you be in the locker room at halftime, you never saw anyone waver or anything like that. There was always still belief that we were going to go out there and we were going to dominate that next play, that next quarter, that next half, whatever it was going to be.
Yeah. Describe the guys that you get to see in front of you, because so many of them return and so many of them are good players on the line and the linebackers. What pops out at you? I know you're concerned about your responsibility, but you're also watching what's unfolding before everything flows to you.
Yeah.
What do you see up there?
I mean, to start off, I got to give a shout out to our chain gang. We have, in my opinion, I believe that we have one of the best D lineman crew in the country.
Yeah.
They set the tone up front. They're selfless. They do their job front, and if it wasn't for them, the secondary, we wouldn't be able to do our job.
Yeah.
And then moving up to our linebackers, we have 5 linebackers who have a lot of experience. So it's awesome that I've been able to build that connection with them, build that chemistry with them. And, I'm just really excited to see, what this season has in store for this whole defense, because, just from, last season and just working our way through, the off season, you just really feel the chemistry and the brotherhood and the connectedness just start to grow with all of us.
What absolutely needs to happen to go from what you were last year as a defense to enough to win a national championship? Because people don't mind throwing that term around here all the time. What needs to, and what have you been working on the most, especially from the secondary crew in August?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of ways that, you could look at it, because, from a defense, you look at the game and you look at, you get better, you need to get better at this.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of things that go into it. But, overall, I would just say that, we just need to finish games, honestly.
Yeah.
I think we have one of the best returning defenses coming back this year, and I think we just need to finish games. That's really the best way that I could put it. And I think we have all the pieces, we have all the talent, and everything we need to be a successful defense this year.
What's it like going against your offense every day?
Oh, man, it's something. The offense has a lot of weapons on there. Chase Mason started off. He's one talented quarterback. Getting a look from him just every day, it makes us a better secondary. It makes us a better defense.
Is there something that happens every day where you're just like, holy crap?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Him scrambling out to one side and then for somehow throw a ball across field and it's completed, and you're just like, oh, well, that's Chase Mason for you.
Yeah.
The wide receivers always give us a good look. Graham Goring, he's the veteran of the group, and it's been really nice to see him step into that leadership role and just really lead a lot of those younger guys like Lofton and Jack Schmitty.
Yeah.
In the tight ends, tight ends might be one of the most physical groups I've played against since I've been here. You have guys like Coleman Coons, you have guys like Grayton Gannon who are leading the way for them, and it's just really been awesome to see just how this offense has developed, and they're going to be lethal this year.
Hey, best of luck. It was nice to meet you.
Thank you.
You're okay at this. So now you're only going to get better after going
Yeah.
through this with me. Dontay Johnson, Jackrabbit safety here on Happy Hour. One of the Jackrabbits' many returning notable defensive players, Dawson Ripperda on the defensive line, joining us here from Jackrabbit Media Day. And Look, a reason why you guys are picked to win the Valley and picked third in the country in a national poll. So many guys are returning on both sides of the ball, especially on defense. Lose my hat. How exciting has that been? What level of confidence is there, especially maybe compared to a year ago? And hello.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
It's good to be here.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. It's night and day between this year and last year. Just having all the
mic up, just there you go.
This year and last year, it's just a crazy transition. You know, obviously we had just new players, new faces, new coaches, and this year we're a lot more comfortable together, and it just makes it a whole lot easier to train with each other when you've been together for so long. So
it feels like for the entire football team, you know, you kind of had 3 seasons there: the 7-0 start, the 4 losses in a row, and then the the mighty wins over UND and New Hampshire, and it's kind of the tail end of that season. How would you describe just the overall defensive performance or the defensive flow of the season last year? How would you sum up the defense last year?
I mean, we showed glimpses of greatness. There's games where we were on top of it, and there was a lot of games where we weren't. So it was just a little bit of inconsistency we had last year. So this year, that's something that we've been focusing on in the off season, is just being a consistent defense and bringing the same team every single week. So yeah, we got to cut the inconsistency out.
Okay, and what have you guys been doing to do that? What has Coach Bergstrom been really harping on?
Well, it's a lot of just making the defense simple and letting us play fast. Last year was a little hectic when all the new coaching staff came in. It was a little different, a lot of new faces, and you had to adjust and you had to adapt to every week and what they had to say. And sometimes it wasn't the most efficient, but at the end of the day, you got to put the ball down and play. So that's a lot on us. So I think this year we focus on just playing fast, making it simple, and just playing ball, having fun.
Who are the guys in your unit on the defensive line who, when you're around them day after day, especially when you're in the bigger situations in practice where you're going, wow, I mean, he's going to be good.
Yeah, we got a handful of guys. I can call out a lot of dudes this year. From last year, we got more depth, and there's a lot more guys you can call out. We got the Reis Kirschenmens, we got the Carter Sitzmans, you got Chase Van Tol, you got Logan Green. I mean, we got young guys like Blake Leiferman coming up, and there's some other guys that have not been seen that have been putting in a lot of work that are going to make a lot of plays this year.
So this can be a tricky question just because, maybe it's not tricky. Reis is out after the second game. You're right there in the trenches with all these guys. Yeah. How does losing a player of that caliber, how did that kind of impact the rest of the season, and in specifically what way?
I mean, to be a good defensive line, you need depth, and it's hard for a defensive line to be that good for so long when you don't have anyone to rotate with. So a lot of the year I never got off the field, and having Reis out, it was hard. I mean, he's such a good player and such a good guy to have out there when you're with him. You know he's going to make a play for you. That was a tough part of the year, and we all had to adapt. The guys had to step up, and that's the biggest part about building depth. Next guy's always got to be ready and prepare like you're a starter. Really.
Yeah. So. What are his strengths as a player, and what have you seen from him that he's had a chance to get back in a uniform and make plays out here?
Phenomenal pass rusher. You can trust him getting to the quarterback most of the time. He's going to get there. Great pass rusher. He's good with his hands. He's quick, and he's got time. He's got more years in it, which makes it more exciting for him to be here and the caliber he's at.
Logan Green's been voted a captain. This is a guy who was a former walk-on. Are you a former walk-on?
I was a walk-on here.
Okay, because you have a lot. I mean, Dan mentioned today up at the podiums 5 defensive returning starters who were walk-ons at one point. So I'll first ask about you. How much of a source of pride is that for you?
It's awesome. I mean, you take a shot, you take a risk on yourself, and you really prove a lot of people wrong when you do that. So I had a chip on my shoulder early on when I came here, and Coach Rogers gave me a shot when I got here, and it's just awesome when it pays off when you finally get that scholarship. And
why was there that chip?
Because I had something to prove. I had something. You
felt you deserved a scholarship at this level.
Oh yeah. I mean, I put so much work into this, and I just knew deep in my heart that this is something I want. This is something I need. And to be quite frank, I wouldn't have been playing college football if it wasn't for a scholarship. So
what got you there? What got you to the scholarship? First of all, in your mind, what did they tell you earned it? And then take us into the moment where you learned you earned it.
So actually, for those that don't know, my freshman year I played in Northern Illinois. I transferred. I'm from Larchwood, Iowa, Sioux Falls area. Went to Northern Illinois on a full scholarship. Played a year there. Spring season came around, and I decided I didn't want to be there anymore. And so I went to the portal. Jimmy Rogers said, "Hey, there's a walk-on opportunity here," and if you bust your butt and you go work hard and you prove yourself, then you can earn yourself a scholarship. So I took that shot at myself. My parents thought I was crazy. My family thought I was crazy. And I told them, hey, I'm coming closer to home, and I'm taking a shot at myself. And preparation in that was hard, but it was enjoyable at the same time, and it paid off.
What got you to the finish line of the scholarship, in your own mind?
I would just say blocking out everything outside of, in my mind, honestly. There's a lot of people telling me I shouldn't have done it. A lot of people telling me that you're crazy for walking away from a full ride opportunity over at your school, and just being able to block out the outside noise and just know who truly I am as a player and as a competitor, that I was going to do it. So
obviously
it really wasn't that hard.
Obviously, you're just making plays and making plays against guys with scholarships. Who notified you that you had attained the scholarship? And was there was it the stuff you see on College Game Day where there's a whole room full of guys?
No, it was pretty subtle. It was pretty, and I'm not a flashy guy. I don't like a big scene about it either. I was pretty happy that Jimmy called me up to his office and he sat me down and he said, hey, you earned it. And that, just having that personal just interaction with that and then being able to get to that, it was special in that moment. So yeah.
Let's go back to Logan Green, because he's another guy who was a walk-on. Yep. What do you feel earned him the title of captain?
Logan Green, great buddy of mine, awesome guy, awesome person off the field, on the field. Biggest part that got him to be a captain is his leadership role. Obviously, I mean, if you're a captain, you're gonna have good leadership qualities. Yeah. Takes control of things that might be uncomfortable for some people, and he steps right in and he says the things that need to be said. So like, it's kind of like one of those things. It's, you have to have certain characteristics.
You got it. You're there.
Sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, he had all of them. So like, he's a great guy, great dude on the field and off the field, great leader.
Okay, chip on shoulder is a typical cliche used at this time of year before a season starts. It's okay because it's true. You had one, so I'm not. That wasn't making light of you saying it. It's setting up the question of how big of a chip of a shoulder does the defense have and this team overall have, or is there really one?
I mean, it's just one of those things. This is how we think about it. It's like, it's a new team. We haven't done anything yet, but we have something to prove, and it's not going to come easy, and we're going to work hard for it. But we put so much blood, sweat, and tears into this stuff that what our goals are is to be to meet our goals. Yeah, and be dominant on the field, show the fans, show everyone that all the work that we put in the off season is going to pay off, and so yeah. Basically.
The last one I have is what will it take? If you look back on last year's defensive performance, good, clear, you get to the playoffs and you play a team that reached the semifinals, it got away. What are the things that absolutely have to be shored up to not let that repeat, to get you guys further this year?
You're saying what teams that we have to?
No, what aspects of defense?
Oh, okay.
How does the defense close the gap to become a national championship defense?
I mean,
what have you been working on to make sure?
Yeah, what we hammer is being consistent, discipline, being physical in every play, throwing to the ball. I mean, it's just basically those simple things. It's just doing it consistently is what makes it hard. Being a consistent defense every single week, preparation up into the game, watching film, everything, all the little details that go unseen is something that we have to hammer this year to be a great defense. So.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
You did well. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Dawson Ripperda here on Happy Hour.